It arrives fashionably late. Alright. Hello, and welcome to Friday afternoon here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons & Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. Thank you very much for joining me today. I am DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, kicking off the weekend in style. I'm on Sarlona, hoping to cap out my character. I've got a character on Menace, my Dragonborn Paladin, who is level 19. Yes, I took level 19. And I'm going to TR in time for next week. All signs point to yes in regard to 36 patch 2 arriving next week. I think we're going to take tonight's build, so they'll get compiled over the weekend, checked by QA Monday, assuming it gets checked out, gets staged afterwards, overnight Monday into Tuesday. So we will probably be set for, my guess, unless something happens, something like next Wednesday-ish for the patch, assuming everything works out. It's a big assumption. Something could happen that'll push it to Thursday or what have you, but that's the plan. So it should be pretty cool. And I'm ready for it. Be ready for it. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do a Cleric or a Favored Soul, so I'm gonna do both. That Dragonborn Paladin's gonna TR, get that character's first past life, and go Cleric in time for next week, and then I'm going to Epic Reincarnate and Shrew Reincarnate my Favored Soul Rogue, and go stick with Favored Soul for that one. Probably stick, frankly, with basically the same build, but get another past life and take advantage of the few tweaks for the Favored Soul stuff. Maybe not go, actually, not just maybe, but probably not go Quarterstaff Wielder. I went Thief Acrobat on this build just for funsies. And so I'll probably do something a little more DPS oriented this time around. Especially with that charisma to hit and damage spells and what have you. I'll probably, I haven't quite decided yet, but I'll probably go charisma to damage rather than wisdom and just sort of stack that up on that Favored Soul character all the way. Yeah, I mean, it's still possible something could happen to prevent it from going out next week, but that's the plan. That's the goal, and everything looks like we're going pretty good here. So here's on Sarlona. I've got my level 30 Bard. I'll probably log into it in a second. I've got Cornan, the Barbarian, level 15 Ferris Lee, a level 15 Blade Forged, Gamogul, level 27, and Wickety Whack, my level 7 Sorcerer, a couple other things as well. I guess I'll probably just still go into Bean, who had a failed legendary shroud. Let me actually call up that comment because it's pretty funny. Funny sad more than funny, haha, but funny nonetheless. Foji on the YouTube comments. I still remember you fleeing a legendary shroud about a year ago, maybe a year and a half, on this very channel. Shame on you. It's true. I think I've yet to complete a legendary shroud on the live stream. I think I'm cursing it by trying on the live stream. I've completed legendary shroud plenty of times, so I know I can do it. But I actually don't know what I'm running. Why don't we... Let's see what I haven't done yet. I have some rating to do on this character. I haven't done Terminal Delirium. Haven't done Wayloon. Yeah, let's head over into the Evening Star side and do some of the Mines of Tethiamar. So yes, it's true. I will have to do a successful Legendary Shroud here at some point on the stream, just to prove that I can do it and to break the curse. Or continue the curse, as the case may be. Hello, Chris and Peter Boss over on Facebook. Hello, Aaron. Yep, DDO still kicking strong. Hello, Claude over on YouTube, who asked, what would be the chance of adding an orange slot to the slavers crafting? There's nothing stopping it from happening, but I just haven't really... I just don't think it's really something we have any real priority in doing. Let me sneeze here quick. Alright. Our cafeteria is going away inside of the office building complex. They're replacing it with a new cafeteria, so it's all torn up and dusty around here today. Yeah, that sounds fine. We can just do it on normal for fun. But I haven't heard, I mean, adding an augment slot to Slaver's Crafting would really just mean revisiting the loot in that pack, and I just haven't really heard of any plans to do that. Yeah, I know, the cafeteria space was cool. We liked having the cafeteria. I guess we're still going to have a cafeteria, it's just going to be owned by a different group of people. Man. Oh, that's true. Yeah, normal probably we might have completed Legendary Shroud. That's probably accurate, because it was really just a matter of being able to overcome that DPS hurdle, and we were just a little short on it. R.I.P. Buffalo Chicken Day. That is true, Renoir. Thursday was always Buffalo Chicken Day, and it was quite the festival in the office. I don't eat buffalo chicken, but that's just me. Growler, when the update goes live for Cleric, is it possible for existing Clerics to talk to Fred to get the level 2 Cleric domain? Or is that not possible since it is a new feat slot? You will not be getting this through Fred. What's going to happen when we go, assuming we go live next week with this, is that anyone with at least 2 levels of Cleric or Favored Soul is going to get a Lesser Heart of Wood automatically. And then you can Lesser Reincarnate, which allows you to repick your feats, and at that point it'll kick in and allow you to take that level 2 choice for Cleric or Favored Soul. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what the new things like. New cafeteria could be fine, but they're totally redoing everything, so that's interesting. They say the whole place is all torn up today. But yeah, so I got a little bit less than a level to do at level 19 here, and I don't know. If your guys' plan is similar to mine, I know it tends to be kind of popular, shall we say, for people to skip level 19, just take 18 and call it done. You know, bank 18, hit 19 or whatever. But it just so happened that I was on a character who had been banking level 17 because I was in a party with the people I didn't want to take 18 yet. And so next thing I know, I took my level 18, and I was basically ready to take 19 right away. I had a 100 XP daily dice, and boom, I'm ready for 19, and so I was like, yeah, what the heck, let me just take 19. So I did. And I don't know what your need to get a level at level 19 is. I actually have plenty of XP I could get. I think what I'm going to end up doing, I started doing the Inspired Quarter, because that's frankly some pretty good XP. They're fairly quick and easy to run too, so you can just zoom, zoom, zoom. So that was kind of my plan, is just to do Inspired Quarter, and then for whatever else I need, I'll probably just head into Amrath, because I don't have any of the XP bonuses on Amrath yet, so I can get a bunch of XP and Slayer boosts and things like that to make that short work. I think the other popular thing to do for quick upper tier leveling is High Road over on the Evening Star side, because that gets you a pretty good amount of XP as well. Get my alchemical cosmetics. Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. And as a matter of fact, this weekend we do have a 50% challenge ingredients boost. So if you are into, oops, if you are into that, you can get more of them this weekend. I think we realize, I mean, we do realize that the alchemical weapons that Kenneth crafted, or Kenneth challenge, gear is pretty weak. Needs really to be overhauled. We'll probably get to it someday. Although you actually raise a good point. Maybe I should just be running challenges, because, you know, challenges, especially because I haven't run them on this paladin before. Man, I could cruise through a level doing first-time challenge XP really easy. That's actually a really good call. Maybe I'll do that tonight. I'll just run a bunch of Kenneth and or Evening Star challenges and call it done. Given a choice, I tend to be a little bit more of a fan of the Evening Star challenges compared to the Kenneth challenges. No particular reason other than I personally enjoy running the Evening Star stuff a little more. I think they maybe are a little shorter. That's just me. That's true. Some of that gear is still good for warlocks. Someone is saying the rock boots, blasting chimes, and cloak, depending on what kind of warlock you are, is a good thing. That's true. Racial TRing with blasting chimes, as someone else says. Alchemical heavy repeater, still quite worthwhile. Yep, that's true. At the very least, for Mirror of Glamoring, it's a cool looking one. That is true as well. Someone hit the lever. I always forget the lever in the shrine room. Run Lord of Blades flagging would be fun to watch me do the bomber one. I've done that on the live stream before. It's been a little while, but I've totally done it. But I don't really... I actually did a bunch of flagging on this character because I wasn't sure I was going to TR him. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, well, I don't really want to flag for a bunch of raids because I'm going to TR this weekend. So I think the XP, you're right, running challenges I think is the way to go on that. Because I'll get a ton of first time XP for doing that. Bracers of Wind, still excellent for electric users. It's cool. What server am I on? I'm on Sarlona. This will be the final day of Sarlona. Next week I head to Thelanis, where, like I was just saying, I'm going to be TRing that Paladin and my favorite soul rogue, so I'll probably just do low-level questing next Wednesday on one of those, assuming that that is ready to go in time for Wednesday. I'll try to be level 2, and I'll just level up to 2 at the start of the live stream, and then, you know, putz around a little bit doing whatever, showing off some of the new favorite soul goodness. So that should be pretty cool. Yeah, Bracers of Wind, level 3, a must for everyone doing Reaper because it's a permanent blur at level 3, indeed. I know it's a repeat, someone said last time I did this. I always forget that lever. Every time I run this quest, I'm just like, I never do it. I never do it. Yeah. When buying 10 crafting boxes at 33 points each, I'm charged 337 points. I'm no math genius, but that doesn't add up. Can it be fixed? I understand it's 25% off, so it's 33.x. But drop the percentile so I don't have to buy 200 individual crates, please. Yeah, I think it's just a tech issue. I think it's a rounding issue. But yeah, you raise a good point there. Reaper and Racial TR have really brought back Canis Challenge stuff. Well, that's great, because this is going to be a good weekend for running Canis Challenge stuff. So hopefully people will dig it.
From deeper in the caves. Drag marks and footprints lead off to the south.
We need exploding pork barrels back on the reward list for the anniversary quest. I like it. I think that's a great idea. We haven't had one of those, not since the anniversary that they were released, I think. I was giving them out some for the 10th anniversary, like live streaming that, but in terms of just kind of wide anybody can get it, yeah, it's been a while. Hey, Backlagora, how's it going? Got a show coming up this weekend on DDO stream here. So I was actually going to mention something, and that is that we've had requests for quite a while now to do like a pen and paper stream on DDO stream. And we talked last Wednesday, I think it was this past Wednesday, about how we want to do it, but we just haven't had time, really. You know, the timing just doesn't work out because it's a long show, and we just don't have time to really make it happen as a group. And so we were thinking about that, and I think we have a solution in place that you're going to be hearing a little bit more about soon. It'll be not us doing a pen and paper stream, but it'll be a pen and paper stream that's going to be hitting DDO stream here in the near future. We're kind of finalizing some stuff about that right now, so hopefully we'll have more to say next week, maybe? How about random crafting crates like you have now, only one of each type, for each type? We are going to have random crafting crates available in the new Mimic Hunt. It's one of the rewards there, so in case you kind of don't want any of the stuff or whatever, you can just get random collectibles. So hopefully that kind of meets that need. When is the Mimic Hunt? Stay tuned. We haven't yet announced, but the plan is to have it run shortly after the patch comes out, which we are currently planning to do next week. So, potentially a week from now, maybe. Oh, that's awesome. Someone on Facebook, and I don't want to name names just because it's actually in my divorce agreement that the ex has to pay for my DDO. That is hilarious. That is a divorce agreement. So the other fun thing I'm going to do this weekend, and I can't stream it just because of copyright issues, but I was doing my typical flea market thing that I like to do on weekends, and I ran into a Dungeons and Dragons Choose Your Own Adventure DVD called like Scourge of Darkness or something like that. And it's kind of like you put the DVD into your DVD player, and then you can watch this thing. I'm not quite sure if it's animated or what, and then like during various points you make choices, and those choices determine all sorts of stuff. And I think that's hilarious. So I'm going to be doing that this weekend as well. I would have live streamed it just because I think it'd be fun, but you can't really just live stream movies without getting in trouble, so I'm not going to be able to. See, I think it's more of a movie than a game. That's why I don't think I can stream it, because Hollywood doesn't really like it when you stream movies on your Twitch channel or what have you. It is frowned upon. Macubre, eBay's your friend on that. You know, there's a lot of choose your own adventures that are kind of taking up space in people's living rooms. You can get that stuff pretty cheap. Even the AD&D books aren't too bad.
Several magically charmed creatures roam the floor. Fazar the jailer calls down to you from the platform above. What are you doing in my sanctum?
Are wizards ever going to get familiars similar to the pets that druids get? It's possible that if we were, you know, when we get to that class work, that perhaps we could do something like wizard familiars. But it's just not really something we've opted to do. Yeah, I'm just killing all the miners. Whatever, man. That's what they get for being dwarves. No, I'm kidding. Why am I killing all the miners? Will someone's ever get a buff? Yeah, at some point they will. There's been a couple of thoughts on how we would do that. Rather than try to recode all the AI and everything, it seems possible that we might choose to instead simply
The walls echo once more, not with the sound
create like a universal enhancement tree, so those who are into it
of their captivity.
could just sort of take that. I like to do them in order. I know I don't have to, but... I do think we'll probably get to druids before we would get to wizards and sorks, although it kind of depends. I don't know. Would the enhancement tree work on oozes summoned from legendary green steel? Yeah, probably, because it would just be, you know, your summons do X, Y, and Z. Why do we have to continue to purchase the Reaper rewards after TRing? The reason they need to be purchased is the way that they were set up as feats. So that's the way to auto-grant it, essentially, after a true reincarnation. I know, it's kind of a pain, but that's sort of the way it worked out best. As to why you need to buy it and why it needs to have a lot of money, it may have been that someone was complaining on the forums about plat being utterly useless, and them having so much of it they don't know what to do with, so it's like, well, fix that. So since everybody has got unlimited amounts of plat, I guess they now know what they can spend it on.
She looks up, startled.
I have never had 5.25 million plat. Yep, I reached into the converter here, but whatever. I do have several million plat though on a lot of my characters. And what am I doing here? Yeah, I got 1.1 million just on this character alone on Sarlona. But yeah, it was really a technical thing in that it allows us to have the wings put in as a feat, and you can toggle them. It was easy to toggle feats, so we could make it a toggleable thing much more easily and reliably. So that's really all there is about as to why it's a feat, is it made implementation make the most sense across lives. For new players, plat still has its use. Oh yeah, there's still use for plat, including now spending it on Reaper wings. But no new players are getting Reaper wings. I mean, like, just it's sort of the whole point. Would it take much to increase the plat cap in DDO? Yes. It would not be possible to do until after we transferred to a 64-bit client, because it's really a 32-bit integer issue in regard to the current plat cap. Any plans to make more classic modules after Ravenloft? Yes. I think we have no plans to stop making classic modules because they're awesome, they're fun, people like them. As long as those three things remain true, I think we'll be doing more and more classic modules in the future.
The mining golem destroys the wall of stone.
What happened to Anarok? Oh man, there's a story behind that. Ultimately what happened to Anarok is we kept on saying we were going to do it, even though maybe the interest wasn't as high to do Anarok as doing some other things. And then when other things became possible, we opted to do that stuff instead of Anarok. And that's happened, what, 2 or 3 times now. So we could do Anarok. I would never say never on that. But ultimately we kind of want to do other things instead. So it really just kind of comes down to, you know, the team picking and choosing what they want to do, and Anarok just not making the cut.
Mineral
more than
veins
once.
in an enormous stone wall, lit by glowing gemstones.
Anarok, was he a
scattered in
Beastie
piles
Boy?
on the
I like it,
ground.
yeah. Desert of Desolation, hey, I am totally down with the Desert of Desolation. That is, you know, well known as my favorite classic adventure, so heck yeah. It's been a long time since we did a desert thing. Given a choice, I'd rather do that than Anarok, personally. But the number of classic packs we could do is, you know, huge. What is the progress on sentient weapons? They're coming along good. What's wrong with Menace of the Underdark? Menace of the Underdark has been temporarily removed from the DDO store, or the DDO market, rather. Which means that you cannot currently buy Menace of the Underdark. And the reason for that is because we ran into a bunch of people. This has been happening for a while, but it kind of finally hit a critical mass where it was like, alright, let's just pull it from the store for a little while here. And the issue is that people were purchasing it and not able to apply the keys to their account without customer service assistance. And frankly, our customer service department has got a lot on their plate right now. And so we opted to, rather than put an additional burden, a continued additional burden on customer service, we have temporarily removed Menace of the Underdark from the DDO market while we fix the problem for gaming. No ETA to announce, but it's something clearly we want to do sooner rather than later. We need a slime raid. Oh my god, that'd be like the least popular raid in the game. A slide dungeon. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know that DDO works well with sliding animations, though. I think it might be... I don't know if it would really turn out that good.
Ah, more volunteers to mine for the jewels. Wonderful. You'll make
Amazing avoidance of a subject that wasn't meant to be brought up on stream. What are you talking about?
how much harder you'll work. Oh, my stand still. Only hurt for a moment.
Plat is still useless. I'm trying to figure out what Prodigy's saying. So, Plat is still useless. It became useless when the Astral Shard Auction House came out. No, but, you know, whatever. Isn't the cap 4.2 million, not 5.2 correct? It's technically slightly above 4.2. You can look up the full integer if you want to. Is DDO going 64-bit? Nothing to announce about that. Now, we are working on it for Lord of the Rings Online, but nothing to say about DDO up until, at least until that's taken care of. Will we increase Epic Reaper XP at endgame before or after Ravenloft? It's almost certainly going to be after Ravenloft. Just due to not having time to do it beforehand. Yeah, I mean, we could, like, Greece does let you slide, so we could. I think we could technically do it, but... Actually, wait a second, why is this telling me... Oop. Actually, I'm doing the wrong one, never mind. Over here! Is it possible more content would be released to Ravenloft afterwards? Potentially. I mean, there's nothing theoretically stopping us. Will Menace of the Underdark return to the in-game store? Hard to say. Hard to say. I don't know what the solution ultimately is going to be for that. It has to do with the fact that the DDO store just doesn't deal well with bundles. All those with unlimited plat, feel free to donate it to me. Yeah, I know, right? When is Ravenloft coming out? Someone on Facebook asks. Nothing to announce at this time. We'll have a lot more about Ravenloft in the coming weeks. Spelljammer and Dragonlance. It's a weird combination. No, I'm kidding. Yep. Hard to say. I don't know that there would be a lot of interest in Spelljammer. There would be in Dragonlance, almost certainly. But I think Dragonlance may have its own kind of licensing challenges.
Sprawl through this cavern. The master manifest could be anywhere within its maze-like halls.
Alright. What would you tell a person who is trying to decide between Lord of the Rings Online and Dungeons & Dragons Online for the first time? What are some of the main selling points? Well, that's a great question. I would say, and this is just personal opinion, if you are into D&D, if you play a lot of D&D, then you absolutely need to check out Dungeons & Dragons Online. DDO tends to be a more heavily instanced game, meaning that you are in groups going in, or solo and going into dungeons. A little bit less of like running around a large landscape for an hour kind of a thing that you'll see, you know, in some other games. So if you are more into the large landscape thing, then you might want to check out Lord of the Rings Online. Lord of the Rings Online has a little bit more traditional MMO mechanics than DDO is. DDO really is its own, and has always been, frankly, in my opinion, more of an action MMO. I know that term has kind of been co-opted by marketing departments. But I think for DDO, it is absolutely true that DDO is more of an action-oriented MMO. So, I mean, the nice thing is, frankly, you can download both for free. You don't even need a credit card. So you can kind of just download both of them and see which one maybe works best for you.
This stately gateway is framed by two dark and powerful.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you're really into Middle-earth, then we got you covered there. If you're really into D&D, we got you covered there. If you like both, well, we offer that too.
the beam of light strikes the final relay crystal, power flows into the puzzle pieces below it. A low grinding reaches your ears from the west. The mayoral estate is now open.
Church, actually. There we go.
The last puzzle piece clicks into place, and the door leading into the lower district rumbles open.
How many hours did it take me to record the DM work on Tower of Frost? It wasn't too bad. I think it was probably... It depends on how much you want to include setup, because, you know, we had to use this gear, right? Because we didn't have a pro studio to record it in. Because, again, due to the voice actors strike and things like that. So, it took, I guess, probably an hour or so of setup, and then an hour and a half of recording, and then another 2 to 3 hours of post-processing. Chopping up the audio and getting all that stuff done. So the actual voice session itself was pretty quick. But everything surrounding it, like usual is the case with audio projects, took much longer. There's also a part of me that feels like it it was our first time, my first time, trying to mimic the DM text, or the DM sort of sound in that, and so I recorded it and edited it in a way that seemed like it would be close, but when you actually see it in game now, you could really hear a difference. I kind of wish I could take another crack at it. Maybe someday I will. To get it a little bit closer to what people expect of DM audio. But it was a freebie. You know, it was really kind of done for fun. Ah, good call. You're right. I forgot to put out DDO points for peeps on Wednesday here. I'll take care of that after the show here today.
Shouts as his power flows into a powerful summoning spell.
Do I ever get to do any of the grunts or injury noises in the game? No, as a matter of fact, that is our voice actors do most of that work, right? I mean, a lot of the things are actually done. You know, they've been unchanged for years and years now. But if we have a new monster and, you know, a new person to do it, you know, we've been known. Like, especially on the Lord of the Rings side, I remember when we were recording the new High Elf lines. They had, you know, their battle cries and things like that, and then they were just like, It was actually kind of funny because the voice coach, the one who was, you know, leading the producer, so to speak, was like, alright, now pretend your arm got chopped off. Okay, now you got stabbed in the stomach. Alright, now you got hit over the head. The voice actors and actresses just did an amazing job of nailing it. It was pretty great. It was one of the highlights of the voiceover session for me.
That it is the master manifest you were sent to collect. The dwarves will be happy to hear that you found it, and happier still to hear that you stopped a drow incursion into one of their ancient towns.
I agree, Brian. That is one of the greatest, most infamous DM lines in the history of the game. There was actually a time while recording Tower of Frost that it never really quite worked out that way. But I was going to try to bring back a bunch of nods to original DM text. Like, you must free so-and-so. Bring him safely to the end of the dungeon. And I was going to try to do a section where we would, maybe in like the hedge maze or something, where we would have cues like the hatchery. And I even wanted to do a line at the very end when you fought off the frost giants, you know. We beat them. This time. But it just never really worked out. It never came together that way. Somebody, anybody, please help me. Yeah. Will the favorite soul in Cleric trees be reworked? Yes. No. War Priest is getting worked on. And we'll be adding a third favorite soul tree. Yeah, I love going the hatchery.
Coming from this region once and for all. The Drow stronghold and its leader should be nearby. The lichen coating's cave floor has been trampled on by numerous travelers. Deep grooves made by wagons moving either north or west are accompanied by the tracks of many bare feet. Slaves, perhaps?
Will custom UI skinning be a thing again? No. That really dates back to an era long gone, unfortunately, for DDO. Sorry.
The gong's hollow clash echoes through the cave. The Drow guards turn and note your presence. A well-armored female on the first platform calls out to you. Approach and speak with me, stranger. House Avathul would know your business here.
It'll be after Ravenloft. So, update 36 patch 2, you know, is coming out next week. And then next is Ravenloft. Most likely. Might have a small patch between then as well, but definitely not enough to do big enhancement tree revamps on that. You know, the team is gotta focus on getting Ravenloft out the door, and that's a lot. Up to and including, say, ASMR and things like that. So there just isn't the dev schedule to be able to permit that being done right now. This is a den of hellhounds. I agree, that's another good line.
Nods to you as you approach. The High Priestess sends her regards, but regrets that she is otherwise occupied. Perhaps she'll be able to meet you in a few days. You may wait in either the room to the right or the room to the left. A dark elf woman of striking beauty admires herself in the mirror. She gives you an inviting smile. A welcome contrast with the hostility of the other drow. The mysterious drow woman gestures to the mirror. Look into the mirror, champion.
Have you thought of a time about doing that DPS test event? Yeah, I just haven't had time. I was hoping to get it done by now, but I just have not had time.
Drow woman. She smiles at you pleasantly and indicates that you should focus on your own reflection. Gazing at yourself, you start to feel different. Good, in fact, and proud. You've traveled far and done many things, and you wear it well. You stand up straight.
What do you get when you put a toothpick in a chest in your lair? Dinner and entertainment.
You think to yourself, you've achieved greatness that most can
Yep.
only dream of.
I love the fact that DDO has the one of the best design choices that
You are
DDO ever did.
the world is yours to shape. Then a soft
Was to have that Dungeon Master thing. You know, way back, whoever did it in 2005 or whatever was extremely prescient and turning what otherwise might be standard voice acting type stuff into DM voice. It was such a good decision. That and the rolling D20, both really, really excellent choices that are, in my opinion, really the cornerstone of what makes this game what it is.
Oh, and some advice. Look for secrets behind the veil. Check. The eyes of the Drow Guard narrow as you approach. You are not allowed past this point, stranger. Now back away, lest you exhaust our patience. A shrill whistling sound echoes through the darkness. More whistles in the distance answer the alarm. It's a safe bet that the Drow know something is amiss. They will be on alert. Slaves huddle in the back of this room, peering fearfully at you and the open door. While you have given the slaves hope, they have no way to defend themselves. You'd best make sure that every drow between here and the exit has been dealt with before sending them on their way.
Sightless is the best helm for half-elves? See, that might be. Makes some sense. Any changes to the Night Revels next month? It looks like we're going to have one new Night Revels dungeon. And it looks like Elderudo is going to be taking the lead on making that a reality. I know what the plan is, but I don't want to spoil it, because it's good. Not like I'd spoil it if it was bad, but I just don't want to spoil it. But yes, it looks like we're going to have one new Night Revels dungeon this year. And yeah, it's maybe a little smaller than, you know, some other years, but we got a little thing called Ravenloft we got to do. So that's really the reason for that. So the main argument about increasing Reaper XP for higher level quests is that the higher level quests tend to be longer in general. And they also... there's a few less of them to do. So the idea is people have a lot of heroic stuff that they can do to earn Reaper XP as they're leveling up. But if you want to just stay at cap, you kind of have a more limited pool of quests to do. Now that'll kind of be less of an issue over time as more and more quests come out, new content and things. But nonetheless, it is probably true that you can tear through stuff in the harbor and all that a lot more quickly than you can do level 25 and up quests for the most part. And so the idea of adding a bit of Reaper XP to higher level quests is really just a matter of kind of trying to balance things out a little bit. You know, your mileage may vary, etc., but that's sort of the thinking on it. Oh, yeah, is someone able to get that? I am. Alright, nice. Yeah, Forte Maestro, we've done a lot of Forgotten Realms stuff with Menace of the Underdark, Ruins of Thunderholm, Shadowfell Conspiracy, and then we also have the Haunted Halls of Eveningstar set there. In addition, this most recent adventure pack, frankly, is Forgotten Realms. So yeah, we've done quite a bit.
This used to be some kind of sally port or back entrance into the stronghold. Now, judging by the trash heaps, it appears to be a midden. The lever here is heavily corroded. It will take great strength to pull it.
No, not necessarily typical geographic locations for Forgotten Realms. You know, most of what we have centers on, like, say, Cormyr and the regions around that. The Sword Coast, Baldur's Gate, that sort of thing are given to other licensors. Yeah, Reaver's Reach is good XP. I would recommend people run Reaver's Reach for that reason. That's just me. It's true that Dragon Touch, you know, doesn't quite have the sexiness it used to have, but whatever. Maybe someday. No. That one either. Oh well. Nope. It's up to you, Warlock. You can do it. It's hard to see. Groovy. I like that idea about naming your characters after the 6 dragons there. That's cool. That's very cool, Jeffrey. Menace intimidates me. Any thoughts on airship decorating or amenities? Yeah, I mean, you know, there's interest in doing that. It's going to be a little while before we get to it, though. But possibly. Possibly. Alright, what are we doing? Will sentient weapons be upgradable or weapons that we need to XP? Yes. I'd like to name the airship. You know, that's come up in the past. We've thought about it, but honestly, kind of a lot of work for a little benefit. I just don't really know that we'll be doing that. Soon on Ravenloft. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. It's gonna be a biggie. Will pets be able to use sentient weapons? No. You're a dog with a knife in its mouth and you like to stab things with it. Well, that's a great idea. No. Someone knows how to quit the -1 in my character after transfer the character of the server? Yes and no. So what happens is if someone else has that character name before you and you move to that world, you are given a -1 and then a rename token. So you would do /rename space whatever you want to rename it to, and you can do that. My DDO stream, if I wanted to create a DDO documentary about the actual story of the game from 1 to 20, just the main storyline, would I need to purchase the majority of adventure packs? Or would the free game content suffice? You are going to need to buy some adventure packs because you'll want to get Vault of Night, Giant Hold, the Emrath stuff. So yes, you would need to get some adventure packs. But you don't need to buy everything.
The result is both beautiful and sinister. The priestess stands before her altar atop one of the upper platforms, lost in prayer to the goddess. She isn't aware of the priestess praises her.
Is Ravenloft in the Forgotten Realms? If Ravenloft is in the Forgotten Realms, how can it be level 10 characters? Ravenloft is not. in the Forgotten Realms. At least not our version of it. You can lead Chronoscope as well. Yeah, I'm sure if you ask on the forums, people will get you a good guide for all that stuff, so you can figure out what you need. You don't need to buy everything, but you need to buy some things. And you could, if you wanted to remain free or whatever, you could do that through... You could probably get most of that stuff through the use of points you'd earn from favor. You know, you're going to be doing some work on it, but you should be able to get that done, I think.
Before they consider another attack on the dwarves.
Trap the soul scroll, that's kind of cool. Alright, that's going to wrap it up then with the show here today. Appreciate that. Alright, that's going to wrap it up then with Friday afternoon. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a great DDO weekend. We do have a double Mysterious Remnants boost. That means when you kill a champion, there's twice the chance for Mysterious Remnants to appear, whether in cookie or chest form. Additionally, we do have a 50% challenge rewards boost that also runs through Sunday. So hope you take advantage of that, and I will have a lot more information, hopefully early, mid next week, about the release date of Update 36 Patch 2. Have fun, everyone, and I will talk to you all again soon.